What's going on, people, and welcome to my post-match recap and player ratings for yesterday's game with a 3 points for Manchester United, 3, Nottingham Forest 0. In a game which saw Jesse Lingard make his return to Old Trafford, went off injured, but he got a standing ovation from some of the crowd, and he walked around the edge of the pitch as he went off injured, so he kind of got a send-off in the end. Probably under circumstances that he wished would have been better in terms of result and not going off injured, but he's kind of had that goodbye now properly. Didn't really affect the game for them, I didn't think. I think we were very comfortable throughout. Forest didn't really threaten us, and I think that they kind of looked like a championship side, if I'm honest. I don't think they really threatened at all. There may be a couple shots here and there, but I think we were very comfortable in that game. Obviously, Rashford getting another goal, continuing his fine form. Martial chipping in with a goal near the end. So it was an important victory. One on a return from a World Cup that we need to not take light-hearted. And we have to get a good result and a positive one, which we did. It was a convincing performance, as I said. Donny got on the pitch. I thought he looked good when he came on. I'll get into the player rating soon, but yeah, I think overall it was a very positive result, even though people were just going to say, oh, it's only Nottingham Forest. But you can only beat who's in front of you. I think Ten Hag had a good game in terms of his tactics, most of his subs, and the starting lineup, to be fair. And as I said, I don't think Forest really troubled us throughout the game. We looked like we were in control. A few players above average for me, which is always good. I only actually had 2 players below average, and then the rest were average or upwards. So in terms of individual performances, very good throughout the squad. But we all expect to win them sort of games. But in the past, we've made a banana skin of them types of games and drew or lost them. So I'm happy with the result yesterday. I know people will just be like, it's just Forest. But as I said, we could have slipped up there and we didn't. I'm pleased with the result. Bodes well for the Wolves game coming up. Games coming up thick and fast. So yeah, I think we were very comfortable in the game. We never really looked like losing it. I thought Casemiro, as the game went on, had a very good game. He wasn't my man of the match personally. I'll get into that in a minute. But I wouldn't be mad if those of you that give him it, because most people seem to. And I think he has changed the club since he's come. And he is shown his class in more often than not. So I completely understand. I just chose to give it to someone else in this game. As for my player ratings, David De Gea, 5. Didn't have a lot to do in the game. Couple saves there, but pretty comfortable evening for him. Average 5. Malacia, 6. I thought he bombed forward quite a few times. Alright, he didn't get a goal or it didn't quite work out, but he was very positive, and defensively, I thought he had a very good game. So 6 for Malacia. Varane, 6. I thought he was comfortable at the back, showed his dominance, showed his experience and quality. 6, Shaw played in the left centre-back position last night as Maguire was ill, and Martinez is still away, I believe, with the World Cup squad. So left centre-back role for Shaw, and he slotted and played like he's been playing there most of his career, which Ten Hag interestingly said after the game as well. And he did look comfortable there. I thought his passing, his distribution, and just aerially and stuff, comfortable, very good slotting in what's not his natural position. So Shaw was contender for man of the match for me. I give him a 7. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, 5. I thought he tried to get forward, but once he did, that final ball was kind of lacking a lot of the time. Defensively, I thought he was solid, didn't really get tested. Average 5. Casemiro, I'd give him a 6. A lot of people might give him more. I think he had a good first half, and the second half was probably even better. But I just think the one I've give it to is in better form right now, in terms of attacking wise. I know Casemiro's not there to do that role, to attack, because he holds the midfield, but it's a preference thing as well. I've given it to Casemiro in other games, but the other guy I'm going to give it to in a minute, you understand why. But Casemiro above average still, I give him a 6. Eriksen, 6, kept things ticking in the midfield. Not completely dominant, but involved enough. 6 for Eriksen. Rashford is my man of the match. Obviously continued his scoring form, his confidence, and just his body language, and he actually looks like he's enjoying his football now. Compared to last season, and for a couple seasons, if we're really honest, it's night and day. He looks like a completely different player the one that we saw a few years back. And I'm more than happy to give him man of the match because I feel like he deserved it. I feel like he made several opportunities for teammates as well where he could have grabbed some assists, but they didn't make the most of it. So for me, Rashford was my man of the match. I'd give him a 7. Bruno, 5. Struggled to get in the game enough, I think. Was involved now and again, but I still think he needs to be involved more and do more. Average for Bruno, a few wild shots here and there as well, 5. Anthony, I think that World Cup is still haunting him because he's come back and I think he's done nothing to state his claim for starting in this team, which is disappointing because when he first came in, he got his goal on his debut. He looked good, he looked fresh, he looked up to it. But now he comes on and he's trying flicks, he's losing it, he's losing the ball every time he receives it. He's playing balls too early that, okay, his teammates might not read them sometimes, but it just wasn't a good performance at all, and it's really not looking good for him at the moment. And he's got this arrogance about him, even though he's not backing it up, which is not a good look. So, disappointing for me yesterday. Worst player on the pitch for me. 3 for Anthony. Martial, I'd give him an average. Obviously got a goal, but he lacked very little service from anyone in the game. Had to come deep a few times to try and get involved. And I think he did okay, but just no service really. But he did get a goal, so I'd give him a 5. And then the substitutes, we had Maguire, Fred, Elanga, Garnacho and Donny van de Beek. Maguire came on, average. Yeah, nothing great, nothing terrible. Fred obviously come on and scored. Took his goal very well. Looked positive when he came on. Tracking back and stuff as well. Energy, what you expect from him. Took his goal well. I'll give him a 6. Elanga, disappointing for me again. Comes on as a sub. And I don't even notice him. I just really think we need to get rid of him. 4 for Elanga. Garnacho come on, looked positive. Tried to beat his man a few times. And was involved on the attacking end of the pitch in little amount of time that he was on the pitch. So I thought he was positive, looked lively. 6. And Donny van de Beek, I'd give him a 6 also. I thought he looked lively when he came on. Maybe could have grabbed an assist at one point as well. One of the best cameo performances I've seen from Donny and most of the time he's been here. So very positive overall for most of the subs and for most of the team, to be honest. It was a routine win. We had to get it done and get the points on the board and challenge for that top 4 if we can get in there. And we have to beat these teams because in the past we would have made a banana skin of it and slipped up. Ten Hag as well, I would give him a 7. I thought most of the starting lineup he got right and most of the subs he got right. And we looked comfortable in the game. We never looked like losing to me. So overall, all around very good from the squad and Ten Hag. Pleased to see it. And it bodes well going into that Wolves game because they'll be going into it with even more confidence now. Just grabbing a win against Everton recently, Wolves. And they've got the Lopetegui in charge who's just took over. So they've got that new manager bounce and confidence and momentum now. But we should be going into that game at Wolves knowing that they're up for it. But we should also be up for it and show the same sort of confidence because we have a better team on paper. But football's not about that. We have to show up on the day and prove it. And if we do, we'll get the points. We'll see what we can do. My man of the match is Rashford. Let me know your thoughts on the game and your man of the match in the comments, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. And a little while ago, I dropped my top 10 all-time League R kits, so make sure you go check that on the channel. And soon, there's going to be another player versus player coming. And also tomorrow, I'm going to be doing my Premier League predictions are returning for the weekend's games coming. I did miss the ones that come on Boxing Day because there's just been so much going on with Christmas, the World Cup finishing, other videos I've been putting out that it just slipped my mind, and I only thought of it today that I missed some games for a game week. But yeah, it is what it is. I'll be back tomorrow with new Premier League predictions. I know people like them ones, so look out for that to drop in tomorrow, guys, and leave your predictions in the comments. Have a good night, peeps. See you soon.